Now, Race Across the World sees 5 pairs of contestants take on an epic race covering a distance of 14,000 kilometres. And they're hoping to reach the finish line before anyone else, our brothers, Brian and Melvyn.
Wow.
Please welcome brothers Brian and Melvyn Mould. Welcome. So it's all your fault, Melvyn?
Well, everything usually is. It was when we were kids and it is now.
So when you were going to ask him, did you think he'd say yes?
Well, I asked the wife first.
Yeah. Your wife?
Yeah, my wife, and she didn't want to go. So then I thought I'd better ask Brian.
Yeah, that's after having asked everybody else, wasn't it? And then
I haven't got many friends.
Is that because, did you watch it thinking, I reckon I could do that?
I saw the first series. Yeah, in all seriousness, I saw the first series and I thought, I know I could do that. Yeah. And you know, when you get to a certain age, you think, can I still do these sort of things?
Yeah.
And so you never sit back, do you? You think, well, I can't do
And
it.
a lot of people are telling you at a certain age that you can't. Which makes
That's
you go,
very true.
So how did you feel when he asked you? Did you say yes straight away, or did you have to think about it?
I did. I said yes straight away, didn't I, Melv? It was one of those situations where we never thought it would actually happen. We never thought we'd actually make it on Race Across the World. We never thought we'd do it. But Melv asked me, I said yes, and I thought, well, here we go. Here's an adventure, load of excitement, a lot of fun.
And at that point, though you both obviously wanted to go for the adventure and excitement, were you thinking at that point about your relationship and what it might mean for your relationship to do it?
I don't think at that point it came into it, did it? We seemed to grow into it,
right?
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity, I think. We spent some time together, and it was probably the first time that we've spent that much time, isn't it, together since we were under 20.
Wow.
Oh, well under 20.
So how often were you seeing each other before this?
We would talk on the phone quite a lot. We'd text. We'd always been in touch, but never close contact.
Seeing each other, yeah.
So to have that time to have those conversations about your childhood and your parents, and was that quite cathartic and like a bit of an eye-opener for you both?
Yeah, because I didn't realise how Brian felt. I don't think he realised how I felt. Because we weren't that really a close family.
But you were close brothers, but not necessarily the
we've always been close as brothers, and we always spoke to each other, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because it was very poignant, that clip.
Yeah, we saw it.
You were sent to boarding school, and Melvyn, nobody told you that they were sending Brian to boarding school.
But that was normal to us, Ruth. You know, our upbringing was normal, and it wasn't until we grew up that we kind of realised, well, it probably isn't.
So how old were you when you were? How old were you when you were separated? When you went to boarding school?
I went to a private school first as a junior school, so that was about 8 or 9, and then I think it was 9 or 10. I was going to say they sent me away to boarding school, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
So they sent me away.
Did they ever explain why? Like you were going and you weren't going?
No, that's something that we've got ideas, but we've got no idea really. And
but you both had different ideas as to why, wasn't it? Is it right that you felt they were sending him away because they didn't want you to influence
that's how I thought. And I still felt that to this day, or till a few weeks ago. You know, you think, well,
I didn't know that at all.
No,
so
well, we've never spoken about it.
I know.
And you felt you were sent away because it wasn't.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't wanted. So that's probably it.
It's so hard. But also, the other thing which I thought was very poignant is that I think we've got the photograph. You took a photograph together very early on in the series.
We did.
And I think one of or the other you said, "Gosh, that's our first photograph." Have we got that photograph?
Yeah.
That's
there.
Yes.
In 20 years, you said.
Over 20 years.
Probably 30 years.
Wow. It's so different, isn't it, the world then and now? Because now most children would say to their parents, "Oh, but why?" Or just. But you're right. In those days, you just kind of did what you were told.
You do certain things and you go along with what you're told to do because that's what you're expected.
But be honest now, was he a bad influence?
We saw a clip of Kelly and her husband arguing, or Kelly mostly arguing.
He tried. My husband couldn't get a word in. I didn't realise how competitive he was. I just thought we were going on a lovely jolly, and it just was not that at all.
Certainly wasn't a jolly, was it?
It's so hard. A lot harder than sometimes it comes across.
It is the hardest thing that I've ever done.
Wow.
Yeah, some people think that when they tuck you up in bed at night time, you know, and then they'll bring you the beer, the cup of tea and all that. It's not like that.
No, because some of the accommodation that you stayed in was not great, was
Yeah.
it?
Did you see the first?
Yeah, we thought we were going to Asia, so I think you got the trip that we thought we were going to go on.
Yeah,
We
I
ended up
wanted
in
your
Brazil,
trip.
but that hotel room that you stayed in, oh no.
I've got to admit, that still makes me
would've
laugh
quit.
now. It does. I mean, it's when he looks at the key in the door.
Who in the right mind puts the key in there? Who's going to break into that?
There's no
But
window.
it's funny, isn't it? Some of those times where you could laugh or cry.
Oh, yeah.
So, often the memories that are like the most important, aren't
Yeah.
they? We hold the dearest, like that suffering together is a really gelling together.
And then
thing,
we
isn't
just
it?
went into fits of laughter. And I think from that first instant, that's what we did. You don't
And
hate it.
you know, did you support each other? Because I'm sure there are times, you know, one of you may be a bit down one day, a bit tired, the other one has to jolly you along.
Yeah,
Was that quite even, or was one of you more competitive? And
We got used to one another, didn't we?
Yeah.
We kind of got used to one another's mannerisms. You know when somebody's having a bad day, you know, walk away, give them 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think we learnt that on the route.
When you're sitting for 11 hours on a bus or a train next to Melvyn, and he does...
That's hard.
He does. It is hard.
The seats were hard,
That's
Kelly.
hard. That's why you
You didn't get an upgrade. You should have taken me. I would
Should've
have got
got
an
an
upgrade.
Did you see those Indian buses?
I know who Brian would really have liked to have taken, and that's Colin, because
was.
he's your biggest fan,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Colin
Told you
was
had
my
friends.
hero.
Is she?
When I was growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Bought every Nolan
Don't let it
record.
stop.
No, it's not. I've got all the albums, but no, it's going on TV.
I used to get in the car, and if he picked me up, and the cassette would be the Nolan.
Yeah, I love that.
Listen, you can see Brian and Melvyn tonight, BBC One at 9 o'clock. Obviously, you're not allowed to tell us how everything's going. We're loving watching you, and we're so delighted that the two of you have kind of been brought back together.
you.
Thank you very much.
And I can't believe I'm sitting next to Kelly Brook.
Brian and Melvyn,
Not bad, is it?
Oh, lovely.
Thank you for coming.
thank you.
Thanks very much.
Nadia and I are feeling slightly left out.
We're just at the end of the show.
Don't worry, I'll just be over here. Nadia and I. Yeah, thank you so much.